my birthday party.
Sound like that.
You ready, Daddy?
What am I ready for?
For his birthday.
Yeah. I stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Probably what you should have done, son.
Okay, y'all, we're walking to the truck because we're about to get the rest of the stuff out so we can set up the room.
Oh, your aunt just called me.
Joseph's party. You ready, Joseph? Where are you? You ready, Joseph?
Now it's 1:40 and Joseph's party starts at 2. We're up here now. Danielle's on her way with the cake. We're gonna be in this room until 2:45, and then at that time they'll be kicking us out so that they can get the next people in here, which is not bad. And at 3:15 we're gonna start actually playing games.
Okay, so tell them what we're about to do.
We're about to cut the cake and stand around for about 15 minutes before we shoot lasers. You're about to kick us out the room.
Okay.
That's a nice car.
Alright, everybody. Happy birthday, the short version. On the count of 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joseph. Happy birthday to you.
Go ahead. There we go. Alright, we're gonna cut it out, serve it out.
We're about to register for the game.
They're going, Julian. They're rolling. Right here, Julian. 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 This way. Actually had to come out this way to get my back worked on. For those of you guys who were at the conference that I was just at in San Diego, remember Jim Bunch called me out on working on my health and getting my health game straight. So something that I've been doing, but after hearing his encouraging words, I thought I would kick it up a notch. So I'm here at, let's see where the sign is. See that? That's probably better if I turn the camera around, huh? A holistic approach to health. Gene.
Oh, training day. Okay, I'm sorry. I keep seeing you post like videos of JiuJitsu and stuff, and so I was gonna say like I do Krav Maga, but it's not like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu too. That stuff's like super G.
Like that stuff is more stand-up, right?
Yeah. So like Krav Maga is kind of like a mixture of Muay Thai boxing. It does some judo throws, and it also does a little bit of jiu-jitsu, like ground game type stuff. Like I think everyone thinks that they know how to fight until you actually spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours actually learning how to fight, and then you're like, damn, dude. There's a lot in the nuance of practicing over time. Like little by little, you get a little bit better every single time you start striking. Maybe your uppercut, you just rotate your body just a little bit differently. Maybe your hook, you just, you have your hand in a different position, etc. All those things, it's tiny little refining moments, over a long period of time that get you very good at fighting.
All right, so Luis Rivera of Superhero Ads Media, what is going on this morning, my man?
Well, like I said earlier, it's a little bit early for me, but everything's good, man. I'm happy that I'm awake, happy that I'm alive. Let's get this going, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So
both of my parents are basically their own entrepreneurs. And I guess it was kind of like instilled in me, but not in like so many words. Mm-hmm. So, and I mentioned this the last time that we spoke, you know, you go through life through the whole thing. Oh, this is what society wants you to do. You know, you go to school, get good grades, go to college, blah, blah. So here I am at this company working. And then, like I said, one day they're open, literally the next day they're closed, like completely shut down, doors locked, the whole nine. Right. And
Like literally night and day.
yes. And I yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a shock. And I even told you this on the last one. I'll make it short. Literally to the point that on the last paycheck, I knew somebody who worked at the bank, and I called them to ask, hey, do they have enough money in the account for me to cash this? And he told me no, but they have a wire coming in. Just come in this day and cash a check. So that's what I had to do. You know, and
you know, in order to even be able to get paid. And sit through, listen to Billy run his mouth for hours about, you know, it's good stuff. I told them, I said, yeah, I'm telling you to go through it once. I've watched the training you're watching at least 10 times.
Well, and little do they know that you're going to fire them.
Right. Oh, no, not the girls.
No, I'm just joking because you say you want to fire somebody.
Not the girls. I'm talking about a client. I want to fire a client because they're not, I mean, but at the same time, like you said, it just, as my process has gotten better, and it's because of the training we got, I don't put myself in that situation. So, you know, granted, we're supposed to sell so we can help some folks, and I believe in that. You got to come across the right clients, and I'm just in a situation where we're small enough where I don't want to take on the wrong folks, and it messes with my life and, you know, business and personal, and I can't grow because I put myself in that situation in the very beginning, and Billy just kept saying, fire him. So I did fire some. You know, but I wasn't mean about it. But I mean, I'd like to do a commercial where I'm acting as if I'm really mean, firing the hell out of somebody. That would be really funny, but that's a whole other situation. So when I say appreciation, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Got my shirt on.
Man, right? Man, just again, appreciation for this, for being able to interact and know people like you. Appreciation for my family, appreciation for my upbringing, and because that somewhat defines who I am, you know.
It does. Yeah. What's your vision for yourself and your family? For those who don't know, because I'm looking at the chat and I'm looking at Joe, my chat's over here, people. Joe Rizzo is one of the absolute best marketers in the world, and I've had the pleasure of hanging out with Joe on 2 occasions out in San Diego, and he is the owner of Go-To Funnels. How you doing this morning, Joe?
I'm doing awesome. Thanks.
Now, I can't wait for you to start telling some more of your story because Julio said, what's up? I can't wait for you to start telling more of your story because I remember when we first met. I mean, you're cool as the other side of the pillow, man. You're a humble guy. And like you said, most of the people that are in our tribe are, man. But then when you start hearing about some of the things that people have done, you're just like blown the hell away. So, I've been waiting to get you on here, and I appreciate you getting up extra early in San Diego to come on here. What time is it your time, just so the people will know?
It's 6:45 a.m. That's my 5:30, just to make sure I wasn't late getting here. So yeah, about 5:30.
Love it. Now,
I think it's awesome what you're doing. I think that's a big part of it, and especially being in business for yourself is that mindset. I know putting yourself around other people that have that mindset and then are moving forward. Because there's either anchors or sales in our life, right?
Yeah. Like just having a group of people like you guys, man, like I said, honestly, out of all the things I've done, I mean, of course, especially since I've been out of, corporate America with the shipyard, being around you and the guys like out in San Diego, man, like it's probably the best group of, I've been around good people, but you guys are like the best group of people I've been around that I actually jive with, man. Like you said, even though we're doing the same thing and different things at the same time, it's just to be in good company with folks like yourself and all the other people that were out there, man. It's just like, it rarely is a time where I don't want to eat my food. And I just didn't care about eating or nothing when I was out there with you guys.
You're like, I don't want to leave. Yeah, that's cool. I remember you saying like, I'm gonna hurry back. So personal development, I spent quite a bit of money, good $20,000-$30,000 doing personal development courses. And, if people talk about the shelf help books, books that you read and they go back on the shelf. And I think that's you've got really passionate the other day, just saying, happy birthday to your son, which is awesome. That's a big
newborn.
What's that?
I said, and you have some beautiful children too.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I like them.
Oh man, I mean,
about having time with our, I look at it as time. One thing we don't get back.
Yeah.
Money's going to come and go. So the vision I have for my family is really about being able to make choices. So and I think that does involve you have to have money in order to do that. So I think the vision I see for my family is really just one. I call it the Rizzo 5. Mike K, the coach, talks about like the power of 5, and so the vision is taking these things are weak, you can't get through a wall, but when you put them together, really strong. So
I like
stole
that.
Yeah, I love it. Like, yeah, you break your finger trying to get through the wall, but you put in the pistons. There's happened to be 3 kids and my wife and I, so the Rizzo 5. But yeah, so.
But yeah, what's the worst that can happen? So he was going through a scenario. I think he said he was making 70 grand a month, and he said, but he was miserable because he had no time, and so he said he was just going to take a trip, one-way trip to Europe or something like that. And he said, what's the worst that can happen if he leaves? He said the business can go up in flames. He can get sued. He would have to, live on pretty much no money. His bank account would take a hit. He said he could feed he would feed a dog on this other country, and the dog would get scared and bite him in the face, which was kind of comedic, but it was funny. What's up, TP? Going on, Ryan? And he said, what else did he say? He said, in worst case scenario, if he had to go get another job, he could steal lunch money from the kids. Kindergarten kids walking by his apartment in the morning. So, honestly, the worst that can happen, like in my case, chasing what I'm doing, and how hard I've been running to get my thing off the ground, whether it be my agency or just spreading this message. Sure. Is worst case scenario, man. I would have to, worst case, I'd have to go to work, go back to work for someone, which, it would be temporary, which I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen. Worst case, I could drive Uber.